On today's episode, we'll be discussing are all men gold diggers, 19-year-old tried wives, and the reason why you're having bad sex. Let's get started.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my god, where have you been? I have to tell you something.
Girl, bring it. I'm ready.
Welcome to the Call Me Later podcast, where we will cover the personal, the popular, and the peculiar. I'm Loretta Rolonge.
And I'm Annie Steinberg, and you've now been dialed into our weekly call about relationships and dating,
Pop culture and lifestyle,
and friendship and community in the city of Medellin.
No, you need to call me later. Hello? No, pero llámame ya. Hey, call me later.
Short story short, all men are gold diggers. That's all I have to say. End of episode. Call me later.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
You need to call me later.
Enter outro song.
Literally.
We should actually do it. We should actually do it.
Like, men, as we all know, I am a professional man hater. I can hate a man. I will pay someone to hate men. Honestly, you don't even have to pay me.
Okay.
I will pay to hate a man. And the reason why this came up, Annie, is because I was watching a TikTok.
Wait a damn
I was-
minute. You need to tell me.
I still don't have TikTok. I still have a PhD in maturity.
Loretta.
But I watched a TikTok.
No, it's time to let go of that maturity. Get on TikTok.
I'm still not on
tired of
TikTok.
downloading non-podcast segments to send you. Because I can just be like, sister, look at us.
I feel like if I went on TikTok, I would get nothing done. Like, because I feel like
No,
I would just
honestly,
get
it's hard.
locked in.
It's hard to exist. Yeah.
Oh no. And so I was on TikTok and there was this person, this creator, and she does one of those like, tell me your most unhinged stories, blah, 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 blah. And I think hers was, tell me about a time that shows that men are low-key gold diggers. I'm going to also throw in some of my personal stories as well. But some of them were, one girl was like, I had a situationship and one of my parents had passed away and passed over their business to me.
Okay.
And my situationship told me to sell my business that my dad had given me to then buy his parents a business. A man that's not even my boyfriend. Like a guy I'm just hanging out with.
Loretta.
No. It gets worse. Like it was literally hundreds of comments, Annie. Hundreds of comments.
Okay, I'm so ready. Okay. I love this already.
No, it was great. It was stuff like one girl had bought her mum a really nice like jewelry set or something like that, and then her boyfriend got upset that that she hadn't bought his mum the same thing.
Oh my God.
No, men are the pits. Men are the pits, and I feel like we do not talk about that literally enough. Because I'll tell you a story of mine.
No, I totally, like, I hear, and this literally happened to us. Loretta suggested this topic. I saw it, I skimmed through it, and I was like, whatever. And then when I was actually going to read the topics, I was like, wait, this is hilarious. I never connect the term gold digger to a man. I'm sorry, I have failed feminism. But it's such like a female loaded word. Work here, and I think this
We
needs
are.
to be discussed. Please go ahead.
Because I just like, and I think it's interesting that you said that you never ever think man when you think gold digger. I don't even think there's a term for it. And it's similar to like when you call a woman a whore. I know in recent years there's been a movement of calling men that, but there isn't a word for men who are like promiscuous or blah, 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 blah.
No.
And so in my personal story specifically, I can pick a couple boyfriends. That's how many times it's happened. I can pick a couple boyfriends who I have looked back and I've gone, you're a fucking gold digger. Like you.
Are we including the man that you had to buy tickets for?
Yes.
Okay,
He's not
perfect.
even number
Okay.
one. Can you imagine? He's not even number one.
No. Okay.
So there was one guy I dated when I was in my last year of high school, and he was the year above me academically. So he was in his freshman year, first year of university, college, whatever.
Yeah.
And we eventually became boyfriend and girlfriend, but at that time we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, why are we not boyfriend and girlfriend? And then he said, I think I mentioned this. He was like, I think it would be embarrassing to tell people that my girlfriend's in high school. And I went,
No.
do you mean the high school I'm leaving? no, I think we have. And I was like, do you mean the high school I'm leaving in 3 little months? So this is that guy. And then when we then got to university, I had significantly less money than him, and he was the year above me. But he had managed to spend all of his money binge drinking, because he was like a rugby player. So he went, you know, drinking on Wednesdays, drinking on Fridays, and he was ordering like, you know, pizzas twice a night, blah, 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 blah. And then he would come to me, he'd be like, oh my God, Loretta, who maybe, I think at that point, maybe I was his girlfriend. He was like, Loretta, I need someone to give me like £150 for my phone bill because I went over on my phone contract. That's what, like, and that's the gag, right? Where do you think, because I think it'd be different if, hey, you know, I've got a job, things are just a bit tight this month, could you please? Of course, no problem. But no, it was that he refused to work. He was poor with his budget. And then, do you know what the kicker is? Let me tell you what the kicker is. Let me take off my shoe. The kicker is, right? The kicker was that he had overrun on his phone bill from calling so many people and texting so many people. Annie, did I get a phone call that month? Did I get a text?
Of course not.
Of course not. Of course you didn't. So like, you've gone over your phone bill by over £100, I should say. So what's £100? $120 something like that, 130. You didn't even call your girlfriend. He was like, yeah, like I just like can't be bothered. Now, people out in the world are gonna say, oh, Loretta, why didn't you just leave him? Why didn't you just leave him? And I'm gonna say, go suck your mum, because we're not victim blaming. I was 19 years old. No. And second of all, and you know that
2020
exactly. And I just find he's not even like the only person. There's the guy that I got tickets for, and there was another guy who was like, we had gone somewhere and he needed to move in. It was then so they had asked on the spot, they were like, so we need first month's rent and then a deposit. And when I tell you, he did not look left or right. He didn't even try and pretend to pull out his wallet. He was just like, oh, Loretta. And I went, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And I went, what? And literally he was like, Loretta. And then afterwards, and this is why men are so pathetic, because afterwards I then was like, I've just paid 2 months worth of rent essentially for you with no kind of like, thank you so much. There was nothing like, no, listen, there was nothing. Right. And then I was like, do you not feel like it's made me feel a certain type of way? And especially back then I was a hothead, so I probably did not approach it with the calmness in which I'm retelling this story. But still, like, I can talk to you like shit. You can't afford your own rent. Like you hat in hand, bro. God. And then he was just like, I just don't understand why you're making me feel so shitty about this. Like, obviously if I could have afforded it, but that's not the problem. Because I feel like in this world, men go on about, oh yeah, and a woman wants me to pay for everything, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, and like, okay, sure. Do you know how much you people take from us? And I don't know what it is, Annie, and I don't know about you. I find it so pathetic when a man is a gold digger. Like, when a woman's a gold digger, I'm kind of like, so you're a feminist.
Exactly.
Whereas like when a man's a gold digger,
work for you.
Honestly, whereas like when a man's a gold digger, I don't know, I can't stomach it.
No, me either. So I want to say something that just crossed my mind as you were telling me that story. And I think men have actually been low-key gold diggers forever. In the sense of like, have you ever heard about like, or like read these articles where you can see that a man's career, success, everything is like directly correlated to like them being married? Even I think their like life expectancy, I think, is better when they're married versus like a woman's like significantly big. And so I think a lot of men do partner up, do marry because they need somebody to like take care of like their life for them while they like show up at work, essentially.
For real.
I think that's a type of gold digging. I'm sorry.
A type? That is.
Okay.
That is.
Okay. Because we don't even talk about it, but like if you're not with someone because, you know, you genuinely love them and you want to build a life together or whatever, but because you're like, oh, having this person is going to help me advance my life in this one way or another, that's gold digging.
You're right. You're totally right. No, Annie, queen of the world. You cooked with that.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I finally had a smart thought. Thank you. No, but like, and not to say like, of course, like when you're in a relationship, you're both building together. There's sacrifices on both sides. Like you're trying to build each other up. But again, there are men that will literally use a woman just for like child, like having their children, raising the kids, keeping a home, having everything done. How easy is like, listen. I remember having a job back in the day, like back when I worked at the university, I went to school.
Yeah,
and
girl.
I was planning orientation, and I was exhausted. And the person who had the job previously, we were like discussing it, and she told me how like while she was doing that job, orientation is like the craziest time of the year, right? So it's like super hectic. And she was like,
Yeah,
oh my God,
yeah.
my husband like completely takes over. Like because I don't, there's no time to even make yourself breakfast. So I was literally living for days off of like over like Pringle packages that we would like pack in orientation bags. So I would
Yeah.
just like be popping them open and eating Pringles all day because like that's all I had time
Fair.
for. And I remember being like, fuck, like yeah, this job or like this particular time would be so much easier with a partner because then he'd be, I mean, a good one, right? He'd be able to be taking care of everything else in the meantime. And I'd be able to like come home and eat something even if I was showing up at 11, p.m. and like leaving again at 6 in the morning the next day. So like that is like a very specific case of like this one event and situation. But I do know that men, search out these relationships a lot. But I do know that men search out these types of relationships as well to have that 24/7. I'm not talking about a specific time. I'm not talking about like, you're studying for the bar and you need like a little extra help. I'm talking about like your entire fucking life is built in a way where breakfast is on the table, lunch is on the table if you come home to eat lunch, you have dinner served, laundry's done. So like that removes so much friction in your life. And that exactly happens because you have somebody that is like taking care of all of your shit. That is gold digging.
100%. So there's like a socialite in the UK called Slumflower.
Okay.
And one of her really controversial things she says that all forms of marriage is prostitution.
Woo!
And
yeah, I mean, she's
it's
not
like that's what I said. I said fully. And a lot of people, and I think you can believe that and still want to be married. I think you can believe that and challenge a lot of those like narratives, because I find that, because another thing that I saw on Facebook was there was this one girl. So she was saying, once I used to work somewhere and I noticed there was another girl that I worked with who, whenever someone called in sick, she covered the shift. She worked doubles. If she was allowed to, she worked triples. She worked 24/7, to the point where she said, I then said to this girl that worked a lot, she went, girl, whatever you're saving up for, I hope like you have the money to save up for it soon, because I see how hard
Right.
you're working.
Yeah.
And then the hard worker in question then said, so my boyfriend has to pay child support to his like baby mamas and he doesn't work. No, girl. And he doesn't want to work, so I work all of this extra time because I don't want him to go to prison.
Bro,
I think the
it can
state
always
they're in,
be-
you go to
it
prison.
can always be worse. I'm never gonna complain. I'm never
Honestly,
gonna complain again.
like, ever again. No matter how bad things are with your man, know that it would never be that.
My God.
No. And I feel like the girl who was making the video that I watched, she was like, never again did I ever want to talk to that hardworking girl again, because I said, this girl's a fool. But I feel like more energy needs to be on the fact that that man's a bum. And that's another thing that I cannot stand, is a man who's a bum. Oh,
No, totally.
like how are
figure out
you
your
this
shit.
pathetic?
Figure out your fucking shit, whatever it is. I'm gonna say there's a friend's husband that I really admired, lost his job. And he was literally like half joke but half serious. He was like, like figure it the fuck, go to the fucking mines. I'm sorry. Do whatever it takes. Yes, you're gonna get back to your career eventually, but like to be a bum? No, motherfucker. I'm sorry.
A bum? No, that couldn't be me.
I actually have like a full horror story about a gold digging man. And it's like one of those like life lessons, Loretta, that I feel like I learned kind of early in life. Like I was maybe 19 or 20 when I heard this story. And it was like one of those things like really shaped my prefrontal, I can't say that word, prefrontal cortex. That's hard to pronounce for me, apparently. It was one of my mom's friends. Perfect marriage, Loretta. Perfect marriage. To the point where, like, oh my God, he was like the most loving husband. If the moms, because like we were all like, I'm not gonna say this because I don't want people to know who she is. If all the friends were together, like her girlfriends were over, he was the one that was pouring the wine, sitting on the edge of the couch. You get the vibe, right? Like adorable.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
kids
I
were
do.
coming around, he was like grabbing the boys and being like, boys, let's go play a soccer match outside, and all of the moms would swoon, and that was the vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the perfect husband. I grew up, I've known him my entire life, so seeing this couple and kind of like being like, oh well, like what a beautiful marriage, like that sort of thing. Loretta, this woman had a mental breakdown, a little mentee bee, as one does.
A mentee bee, sure.
Came to my mom's place. I was in Canada at the time, so she asked to stay with her while I was there. Told her everything about the marriage, including years of cheating, etc., etc.
Cheating?
Oh, girl, that's the least of it. This man was I don't know what the word for it is in English. Executioner, maybe? No, that sounds like he's killing someone. What do you call when you're like in charge of somebody's trust?
Fuck, I know. Executor.
Executor. Okay, so he was the executor of his daughter's trust. She had a trust because her maternal grandmother was very rich and created a trust fund for her, which she was going to be able to access at 18. For whatever reason, the father was the one that, was the executor of it. She turned 18. There wasn't a cent in the account.
Death. Kill him. Death.
Gold dug, if you will. His daughter.
No.
His fucking daughter.
No, he's a sicko. He's a fucking sicko.
Fucking piece of shit. Also, he
No,
cheated
how
on
could
his wife
you?
with his wife's sister. But whatever. Yeah, I know. No, actually, I'm gonna tell the whole thing. The week that they were getting married, she walked into their soon-to-be home to leave some stuff before the wedding, and he was there fucking her sister. She's so
fucking. You couldn't even do a little emotional affair. Just a small emotional affair would could have been painful enough. Fucking.
Yep. But so they definitely can. Are all men gold diggers though?
And the reason why I actually think that marriage is prostitution and men are gold diggers is when you look at this kind of like uprise in girls becoming trad wives. So I don't see I don't know if you've seen what's gone on with Savannah Stone. I think that's her name, which I also watched on TikTok.
Okay.
I also watched on TikTok through Facebook.
You have a secret TikTok account and you just don't want to be my friend.
Oh no.
Is that what it is?
No,
I promise we can set some boundaries. I'll only send you one TikTok a day.
Do you know, like, I have a friend who sends me reels on Instagram and I fully just open the chat and I close it. Partly because, I know, but it's partly because the reels aren't that funny. Like, I've watched a couple and I'm like, is this your real game? Girl, miss me with that shit.
Okay. Let me do a little, like, side note there.
Okay.
I personally react to every reel I get, every single one, but I react according to my feelings. Like, for example, with my brother, he knows if I didn't react, I'm like, you got to step up your game. But I will react to the one he sent before and the one that he sent after, and I will be like, or I will be like cute, or I'll be like cringe, whatever, to like each of them with like my little like emojis.
Yeah.
But if it's not replied to, I'm just like, bro,
girl, bye.
I've like conditioned him. I feel like he like every time he's like my second algorithm. He sends better and better content.
No, and I love that. I love that for you. I love that for both of you. But this one friend, she's shit. Like, she's so bad. But one of the reels I saw about Savannah Stone was that, so she is a 19-year-old trad wife. And she has kind of sparked other trad wives to come up. So I saw two of them. So one of them was Savannah.
Like a trad wife influencer, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. So like a budget Dollar City, ballerina farms, Nara Smith. Yeah. Like, you ain't at their level, but that's who you're aspiring to be.
And she's young. She has a lot of time to like become them, which I hate.
And so one of the girls, so not the Savannah Stone, this other girl whose name I cannot find, she was like, I got married a week after I turned 18, and then I had my baby on my 19th birthday. And she was telling the story when she was 19 holding her baby. Her husband is 10 years older than her. Let that sink all the way in, because don't think that they met on her 18th birthday and then got married a week later. No,
definitely
do not think that. And so she was trying to say, you guys are being kind of like influenced by these miserable women online who are telling you to wait to get married. They are saying that you've got to, she tried to say the word infantilizing. She didn't even know how to say it because sis barely made out of high school. And
is she American?
Like, of course.
Like, no, they don't even know how to spell.
Well,
I'm sorry to our our American listeners, but can you spell infantilizing?
I was saying, no, literally, she called it something correct. Like, to the point where I was like,
Silent
what are you trying to say? And she was saying something like, yeah, people have been telling me that you're not really an adult until you're 25. I don't even know what that means. And I was like, well, like your frontal lobe. And literally, she knew nothing. She knew nothing. It then sparked a debate about why don't you see very happy trad wives who are like 50?
40.
And
I literally, I saw one of those.
Did you see? Did we see the same thing?
Yes, probably. I could have sent it to you if you wanted to be my friend on TikTok. Bitch. Okay, continue.
And so on this, it's by, what's her name? I can't remember. She's the one that does like the women's sphere or like the female sphere. And she was like, why don't you ever see people who are like 47 and trad wives? I think also there are separate buckets. There are people like Nara Smith and Ballerina Farm's Hannah Neiman. Hannah, I think, is a bit more problematic than Nara, if I'm honest with you. I think she really buys into and monopolizes and monetizes, mejor dicho, that, oh, you need to stay home and, you know, you can have 9 children. Sis has 9 children, not a single set of twins.
Bro,
9 fucking kids.
See that snippet from like the conservative trad wife conference that just happened or something? I don't even know what it was.
Not a conference.
It was some conservative value conference, whatever. And Erica Kirk spoke on. I literally, again, if I'm taking this out of context, we have said it sometimes. Don't fucking come for me. Allegedly, I don't give a fuck. But she literally goes like, "Have more kids that you can afford," and everybody's like, "Yay!"
What? More? How am I going to afford them? Like, how am I going to pay for them? So I think that those two kind of like queens of trad wives, Nara Smith as well is different because, so Nara just finished going on vacation to Mykonos with Ray, the singer. A trad wife is not doing that. That is not a trad wife. She speaks about, Nara in particular speaks about how when she's making all of her videos, the person washing the dishes is lucky. Like, she's like, I leave the kitchen in a disaster, and that is fully his job to do. Who do you think's looking after the children? Blah, 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 blah. And so she then, and she's actually gone on to another podcast to really challenge it and say, I really do not view myself as a trad wife. People perpetuate that onto me just because I make stuff from scratch. Whereas I think Hannah...
her rise to fame was more like I will make cereal from scratch and I'll go out and like pick out the wheat from the fucking I don't garden or whatever. But she's not as, and I mean, and she's Mormon, which I feel like it's like there's a slight overlap there, I would say.
Yeah.
But it is a different vibe to Ballerina Farms. 100%.
Yes, I agree. And so even there, Nara Smith is 24, maybe? Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Nara Smith's a kid. Like, Nara Smith also got married. Nara Smith got married at 18. She met Lucky when she was 17 years old. After 6 months, she found out that he was going to propose. And then she went up to him and she said, I know that you're going to propose. Should we just get married? And he was like, okay. And then like that day, I think like that weekend, they got married after dating for 6 months.
That's the way I'm going to do it. No, just kidding. But that's the energy I'm going for like keeping my 5 kids secret.
No. My wedding is going to be a spectacle. Like, I need to be on the front page of some kind of Colombian newspaper. Like, that's my goal. For real. The world must know.
Happen. We will make that happen.
I actually so appreciate that. And where I worry actually about like trad wives and things like that is no one's telling you that you can't do this. Because let me take a very short segue. I watched a different podcast and it was a woman. Did I tell you this? Maybe I told you this offline. There was a woman on the podcast with her husband and she was like, yeah, so him and I went through a lot, blah, 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 blah. I feel like I was a very strong person. She's put it this way. She said, God gave me the strength to stand by his side. So she said all of this and she said...
You already know it's bad.
You know it's so bad. And so one of the things she was like, early in our marriage, I used to pack his away bag for him to go spend the weekend with his side chicks. I used to pack the bag for him.
My God.
He apparently turned up 2 hours late to their wedding and they asked him why on that podcast. And he was like, yeah, I was just really considering if she was the woman for me. Like, she had gained like 50 pounds. Like, I like a
Was
woman that's
all
like
of this said out loud and
Fully.
not under duress?
fully. He said it, both of them, side by side, said these things out of their, I'm not paraphrasing anything. They came onto this podcast with their own mouths. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
Where I struggled, I actually stood by her side through a lot of this, because she was like, listen, in a relationship, that's like, God gave me that responsibility. She really believed what she was saying. Her husband seemed like a damn fool, but sure. Where I then disagreed with her is that she then said, the reason why you women can't have long-term relationships is because you're not willing to endure like I was enduring. And that's where it pissed me off. Because sis, you can do what you want. If you want to get married at 18 years old, or you want to marry a guy who is literally the dumbest fool I've ever heard of in my life, if you want to marry him and stick by his side, sis, please. I love that for you. But now you've come onto the internet like these 19-year-old trad wives, and you've come to say, you're being influenced by negative women. The reason why you can't have a successful relationship is because you can't put up with bullshit. And I just feel like, fuck you. Really?
No. There's gonna be a whole fucking generation of girls that are gonna be so seriously fucked up by the influence of tried wifiness. And the thing is that, you know, it's all a pendulum, right? So like, obviously I think our generation, even with like the toxicity of like heroin chic anorexia of like the 90s and like all of these things, I do think there was more of like, you know, a path for independence for women. And I think that was kind of like cool. And the way that these girls are being taught that it's cool to just be a wife, and there's nothing wrong with being a wife, please don't come for me. But the fact is, like, this is literally, you know, when you have a job and you have a career, hopefully for the best part, you have a pension plan. You have a thing called, like, I don't know, in Canada it's called like EI, you know, like there's like, if you lose your job, you can go on unemployment, you know, like there's all sorts of things where I think we understand that having a job and having a career it's a vulnerable thing. Obviously, like you could get fired any minute. And hopefully, because obviously it's not the perfect scenario for everybody, maybe you have some savings set apart. Maybe you have some sort of insurance for if you lose your job, you have, you know, 3-month payments to like figure out there's severance, there's all of these things. I think a lot of these girls don't understand that the moment that the man want them gone, that's it for them.
Literally you are gone. Like it's over for you.
What is your safety net when you're involved in these relationships and when you've done it from like such a young age? Like you don't even have, not even like the work experience, but you have like zero life experience.
You have nothing.
You haven't gone out. You haven't fucked anybody else, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Like you literally, your life has revolved around this man and his needs. And when you get fed up, because you will get fed up even if you don't think so.
Yeah.
Everybody in the healthiest relationship gets fed up. It's very different to choose to stay and be like, nah, I will, like, you know, I will fare this weather, you know. I am tired of this man, but I love him. Because that happens in relationships. There's days where you're just like, why do I like him even? You know, like, or I love him, but I don't like him right now, you know? But knowing that you're choosing to stay is very different than having to stay. Because you have no exit.
Yes. And I think that when you look back and you look at things such as like in the UK, women couldn't have bank accounts in their own names until like the 80s. When you look at things like that, I almost find it as like a disservice. I don't know, because I'm trying to tread really, really, really lightly here, because I have a friend who she would like to stay home. My friend who, like, her boyfriend, her fiance is the food shamer, that one. That fucking guy. And so she would like to stay
off to a great
home,
start already,
honestly, and like it gets so much worse. Praying to God she doesn't ever listen to this episode. But she
tell her it got really bad. It's like, oh, I just really lost its sparkle.
Fuck yeah. I'm like, listen, like no one listens. And so she would actually like to stay home with her kids, at least for the first couple of years. That, do you know what I agree with? You could never catch me doing that. Yeah. Like I wouldn't do it. But I can actually understand, like I understand the research behind like having someone home in those formative years is like indispensable, you know, it's invaluable. Sure, that just won't be me. Maybe my man is gonna stay home with the kid, but me home with the kid 24/7, I'm gonna cook the kid, right? Because
perfect.
And so my friend in particular, her fiance also really wants children, and he's almost not pushy, but it's something he's really saying. He's like, yes, I really want to start thinking about it soon, because he's a couple of years older than her. And once her niece and nephew came to stay over at the house, and one of them was like, you've cooked my eggs the wrong way. The other one was like, I want ice cream for breakfast. You know what kids are like, they're little shits.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, they're making breakfast for everyone, and he literally walks down the stairs, hears the screaming, and just walks straight back up the stairs, goes to his gaming room and shuts the door. This is who you want to have children with. And it's a conversation that like she has had with me. She was like, I feel scared because what if he's just going to abandon me? And not abandon like leave, but abandon like leave everything to you. And I went, well, that's a possibility, especially because he sucks. But also, what if he does and you've then given up your career and you don't even have you don't even have a foot to stand on? Because one of the really important sayings I've heard is that if he can feed you, he can starve you. And he will.
Bars.
No, honestly, that really was. I should tag the person that said it, because she slayed with it. And her story was so traumatizing. Because it's true. And I feel like people glorify it. And I think there are things that
like 2-3 episodes ago, I told you about that friend that went to Switzerland with 40
right? Yeah.
That then got deducted for a fucking credit card payment. So she didn't even have that.
Oh,
they got
God.
into a fight, and she couldn't even eat for an entire day.
No.
They were fighting, so she couldn't ask for money to buy a fucking sandwich. Like,
no,
it's just,
imagine.
No. The amount of violence that can take place in these relationships through just the financial aspect. Don't even get me started on everything else that can happen, but just through finances, there's so much risk. And like, why are these girls not taking better care of themselves? I think like they just like think it's so cool to like not have to work. And the thing is that I think we have to like bring back going to kind of like what I was talking about, the 90s or whatever. I feel like so many of my friends, this was shout out to Lee, but because I feel like she's like the ultimate
love you,
one
Lee.
for this job.
Love you, Lee.
Lovely Lee. I love you, Lee. She was born to be like a magazine editor, you know, from like 2000s movies. I feel like we saw so many movies, so many shows, so many things where like it was so cool to be like a girl out on the city with a job. And so for us, like for me, I couldn't wait to get a job. Like I thought it was like the coolest thing to have. My cousin and I mean, we played babies, we played the whole thing. The time that like an old keyboard was like thrown away from like her dad's office and we got to keep it. Fuck! Laura, we were just like tappy. Like, it was like the best thing. And we were just like, yeah, like taking phone calls and like playing office. It was cool to be like a young independent woman. And I don't know if like that has kind of like maybe like been removed from media, or like there's like a lot of like demonization about like working all the time, which we are all fucking exhausted, let's be honest. I'm burnt out.
Honestly, yeah.
But the answer is not, then let me not have independence, let me not have my life, let me not have a job, and just have a man keep me so I can go and, you know, like have my nails done and pop his babies out. Like that is so, it's such a simplification. And oh my God, it really worries me. I have a cousin that is that age. She's gonna turn 18 in a couple of weeks. And when we were talking about universities and stuff, and like I would ask her about her friends and what are they doing, you can see the influence, and like you can see a lot of them being like, oh well, yeah, like I don't know if it's that important. Girl, but it is that important. Like your independence is the most important thing you'll ever fucking own, and I don't know why they're giving it up so easily. And life, listen, I have a dog. The moment I got a dog, my independence was gone in some extent, right? But it was like an exchange that I was worth, you know, it was worth for me to make. At this point, like, and for some guy that's probably like not even fucking you well, why are they doing that?
Honestly. And it begs the question of, why are so many women or people with vaginas having such bad sex? And the answer is also simple. It's because you're having sex with men. Like, because you're fucking a man. Like, stop fucking men.
Listen.
Get a really good vibrator.
That's true.
Get a Satisfyer Pro 3. Or fuck a woman, if that's your thing.
Okay. I'm going to plug, if you're in Colombia, I'm going to plug the brand Owna, OWNA.
I'm literally
Guys,
Googling it right now.
Us, we will take it. Thank you so much. I love the owner. They're very sex positive, and they're like designed by women for women. It's a beautiful brand. Oh, I love them. 10 out of 10. However, I will say, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Me cursed with heterosexuality.
Damn.
It's all I got. It's all I got. And honestly, Loretta, I love sex. And you know this. And like I love a good fuck. And I was literally just talking about this with my man this week. And I think this is gonna sound really stupid, but I feel like a lot of it is mindfulness.
It is. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You have to be in the moment. I am not a mindful person at all. I cannot slow down about anything. I struggle to be in the present. I always want to have my phone in my hand. All the things. When I'm fucking though, I am in the fucking moment.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
much. I feel everything. I am so connected because I have friends that talk about how like they're like, oh well, you know, I have to like do my groceries somewhere and I have to do this. I don't even have time to space out.
Oh yeah.
I am in it. You know, like it's not. I cannot be doing like other activities in the meantime, and I feel like that's a huge part of it. Also,
so. Yes, and we appreciate that. That is a good part of things, and I will do some challenges at the moment. So once I had a sex with a guy who was a writer. He was like an up and coming writer, and we had sex. And before we had sex, we met on it's called Field, FELD. It used to be called Thrinder, but then they got sued by Tinder. But it was an app where you could like have threesomes or explore your kinks and your fetishes. And I've got some super interesting ones. Not any that are like too sort of like out of the ordinary, but I've got some like super interesting ones, and I have a very open mind when it comes to like people's fetishes.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm talking to this guy and I'm like, yeah, so, and I asked him point blank, like, do you consider yourself to be good in bed? Because if you're not, let me sort myself out before I come over so I can just, you know, lay there with you and think of England.
Enjoy the moment without
exactly
expecting more from it. Yeah.
And then he just lived around the corner from me. I was at university at the time, my first university at the time. And so I went over and we had sex. Annie, first of all, he confused my belly button for my vagina. And then, which is sure. And then when we had sex, it was pin drop silence to the point where a bus drove by, stopped at the bus stop. I heard the three people. No, I heard the three people get off the bus and the doors close and the bus drive off, because it was literally so crap. Like it did not ignite a single corner of my body. It was literally like, and it wasn't like, oh, I was disassociated. I was there hoping, begging, praying for more.
Oh my God.
And he was just like, and then at the end, he was like, oh, yeah, great. And with me, when it comes to sex, I'm super savage. So I literally was like, I hope you know that was not very good at all. And he was like, do
you bring little like number signs and you're like 3?
No, I know, because also I was someone who used to fake orgasms. I used to date a guy and I faked orgasms with him all the time.
That was gonna be like my next kind of like topic. Where do you stand on faking an orgasm?
I think you should never
on the year of our Lord 2026.
Never. You should never ever do it. Literally
never,
ever.
Right?
Yeah. Because it's a disservice to you and it's a disservice to the other person as well.
Completely.
And you should never do it for ego. But there was one guy I was dating where I used to fake orgasms with him all the time. But it's because I just wanted the sex to be over.
So this guy, I'm positive. Listen, you guys, I don't know if this is the right term for it in English, but Charlotte has told us it's premature ejaculation. So I'm pretty sure he was the kind of guy that like would come really fast. And why am I so sure? Because by the time I had him, this man would take so fucking long to come. So with him, I got into the habit of like faking it so that we could just end it. Because I was just like, this is too much. This is too much and I fucking hate it. Otherwise, and after him, I don't think I've ever faked it once, because I agree, it's totally a disservice. You kind of do have to train them also a little bit, and I think that's giving them like erroneous feedback, if you will, you know, like I don't want him to think or learn that that's kind of like the right thing to do. But anyway, this was just like a little side note about faking orgasms. Please go back to your other man.
I used to date a guy who I used to fake orgasms all the time because I just wanted it to be over. Like, he always wanted me to get on top, and I have a rule: I only get on top when I'm in love, and I was not in love. No. Okay. I'm literally, if I'm not in love with you, we're gonna do doggy.
I'm not on top.
We're gonna do missionary. But like, I save my best moves for the love of my life. Yeah. True. Thank you. True. I'm fully not going to do that. And so with this guy that I slept with, the writer, I had to tell him, I was like, listen, this is not very good. And what has had me thinking about this kind of conversation in general is there's a woman called Shan Bruden. Her name isn't hard to say. I'm just a dumbass. But she is a coach and she's a sex activist also as well. And she has done literally a masterclass in how to feel sexy and attractive. And recently she's been doing ones of how to get your partner with a vagina to either reach vaginal or clitoral orgasm, or to get them to squirt. And so she has been doing some real in-depth lessons about this is how you need to get there. And I just find that in my circle of friends that a lot of them have horrible, horrible sex and they don't talk to me about it. Even though I think it's because I have such good sex that then they feel kind of awkward to be like, girl, I've never had an orgasm during sex, like, ever. Or
girls, if you want to reach out to the podcast, it's okay. We won't judge you. We will. We will, and we will talk about it live. But literally. We won't use your name.
No, not of course not.
Please do reach out to us.
And it's really upsetting because you get a lot of people who are like, I kind of just do it because I feel like you're meant to, or I never really feel satisfied. You even get there are some people, especially living in Colombia, I have some people who are like, I don't even use sex toys. I was like, you don't use sex toys? Like, what do you do on a random Thursday night when there's nothing to do? Like, what do you do then? And I have one friend who literally doesn't masturbate ever. Like, ever. She is 32 years old. She was like, I literally never, ever do that, ever. And I was like...
And how is her sex life?
Apparently good, but I fully don't believe her. Because
I don't think so.
You are relying fully on a man. And you know what they're like.
It's so important to like get to know yourself.
To know what you like.
This is also trad wife energy in a different respect.
Yeah,
I'm
for
sorry.
real.
I'm sorry. You can't depend on a man financially or for your orgasms.
No, you absolutely can't. And you don't even know what things you enjoy at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you fully have like no idea. Oh, I like this or I like that or blah, 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 blah. You don't know literally anything because you rely on a man to basically tell you the things that you like. And I agree with you totally that it's a mindfulness thing. Like, when I started having sex with someone that I had very intense emotions for, that like catapulted my sex life. Like, I then fully, to the point where I used to look at other people and like, I remember it was something he used to say to me actually. He was literally, he'd look at me one day and he'd be like, I just feel so sorry for other people who don't have sex that's as good as ours. And I was like, bro,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And everybody's missing out on this.
Everyone's literally so missing out. Like, and you know they're missing out because you've had sex with other people and you're just kind of like, okay. And not to say that you can't have really meaningful, from a sexual perspective, one night stands. You absolutely can. Someone could break your back, your skull, your leg, right? On a one night stand. Of course they could. But that, I feel like, can only be achieved when you're having sex with men. If you know the things that you like and you know the things that you want and you're vocal. Yeah. Do you know, I worked with a guy, I did like a year-long internship when I was at university, when I was doing my undergrad. And I asked the guy, I went, if you have an orgasm before your girlfriend does, what do you do? And he said, and I quote, when I'm done, it's done. And I went, huh. I said, okay.
Got his dick off.
He was like, he was like, if you didn't find a way to get yourself there before I did, I fully don't know
well,
you.
did you find a way to get yourself there? Or did somebody get you there, motherfucker? Because it sounds like you were having sex and the other person has to masturbate, essentially.
And he fully believed what he was saying, Annie. Like, he was literally like, yeah, I am not doing anything. So I'll say, personally, I had sex from 14 to 17 and I had sex regularly. I had sex maybe almost every single day during that age range. And I was on the streets. I was on the streets with my various boyfriends across those 3 years. And
Amazing.
all those years I was having sex, I didn't have an orgasm until I was 17 years old. And I had one once when I was 17. And then I didn't have consistent orgasms again until I was like maybe in my 20s. And then I said this to a man. I said to a man, what if you had sex practically every single day for 3 years and you didn't have an orgasm? And the guy said to me, what's the point? And then that's the mentality I had to carry with me. If I'm not coming, I'm going, right?
Yeah.
Because what's the point? A man would not put up with that. A man would never call you again.
I fucked this one guy once who I thought was like my type to a T. Like he was hot as fuck, you know, like spectacular. Loretta, I think he knew he was so hot. Really fucked. It was like, oh, like,
he doesn't have to
this
try.
man had ever done anything ever. Like I don't know. It's so weird because he's so hot. He's very like, he has that vibe of like, you know, he fucks, but then we fucked, and I was like, oh, but. Like, I'm sure you get women to your bed, but, like, you don't know what to do with them afterwards.
Yeah, I know a guy like that.
Sex ever. So fucking boring. Took me nowhere.
No.
And I was just like, oh, okay, well, this is it then, I guess. And he has, like, continued to... He's traveled to Colombia to come see me. And I've been like, but we're not going to fuck because it was so bad. And he's like, it was so bad. And I was like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
No,
like,
you have to.
I can't fucking do it. It's so bad. And I also, I mean, I feel like... for our sisters in Christ that are not maybe having orgasms every time.
Yes, sister. Tell us, sister.
Yes, sister. And you're so good at that, sister.
Good at that, sister.
And having orgasms, sister. I am so proud of how you do that. I think it's okay to also know and enjoy that, you know that sex can be enjoyed for, you know, the touch, the feeling, the companionship, the camaraderie, the care, all of those things, right? So I don't want to like shit on sex 100% if you're not coming every time. However,
Yeah, I agree with you.
However, that could never be me.
Oh no.
And let's talk and let's see what's happening. If it's, because sometimes it's you, sometimes it's your partner, sometimes it's both. Maybe it's the lack of communication. I think we're all built different. So there are things that I feel like I am talking from a high horse because like, I don't know, from the moment that I had my first one with, except like this motherfucker and the boyfriend that took too long, it's always been, you know, a 10 out of 10 has been there. And I just don't know if it's like a lack of being able to, you know, like to let go. If it's like you're ashamed, maybe.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like, shame is a big one for people.
Because like sometimes we love our partners, right? And we don't want to say like, this isn't working for me.
Well, I don't love them that much. I wouldn't love a partner that much. Fuck,
but like
fuck them.
It can be difficult, right? Like, and I myself, obviously I was a lot younger. I'm just saying how like I put up with like all of this shit and I would fake it just like get it over with. So it is hard to have those conversations, but I think the more that we normalize them and the more that we set those expectations, like, listen, I am not about to like ruin my hair for nothing.
Slay.
Something better come out of this.
No, for real.
You know?
For real.
No. So I think, how can we invite women to have more orgasms or to have better sex altogether?
I truly think it starts with yourself.
At home.
It really does.
Starts at home.
It really does. Charity starts at home. Give to yourself first before you go out there. Because I think there are things that you can explore where you need another person. Like, once I started having anal sex, it changed my sex life forever. Because it just it opened up all of these like nerve endings in my asshole, that it then meant that like when I would have sex, he would just have to like put his like graze his finger over my asshole, orgasm. Like, it was crazy.
Have I told you that I was saving myself for marriage?
No, yeah, you did. You did. I've only had anal sex with one person.
Okay, I just want to have something else to offer.
No, I've got some moves.
Wife in me.
Yeah. No, as you should. It's good to be traditional in that sense. There are some moves I'm saving for like marriage. There are some moves where I'm like, no. I need to be a wife before I do any of that for you. Fuck off. But
I'm never happier than my dad doesn't speak like very fluent English.
Yeah,
We
like
get
that.
into these things.
You just gotta tell him episode
'Cause
16, Dad,
he's really
please.
supportive. No, he won't listen. We speak too fast. But like, I'm just so glad that it's not an issue. Fuck.
No, because imagine, and so I think it starts in your home. I do try and tell people to steer away from pornography, just because I think it gives unrealistic expectations on what sex could look like.
Girl, okay, same. I feel like we have to do a whole segment on porn. Have we done it?
Probably. No, we haven't. We haven't.
Okay, because I'm also very like, I just don't watch porn. I just don't do
neither
it.
do
And
I.
I think I started very young. I was very aware, I don't know why, of like the fact that like I just didn't want to like compare myself to anything. Like I just I don't know why. I think from like a young age I was like, sex will be precious. I will love this. Like I just knew in my heart that
This
I was
is
gonna
for
love
me.
it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to be comparing myself. I don't want to be thinking that I have to do things in a certain way. We have enough. We have enough in media constantly that we compare ourselves to. And I
No,
was like,
for
I
real.
just want sex to be what it should feel like to me. Like, period. Like, I just want to do what my body feels like doing, not what I feel like I have to be doing, if that makes sense.
Exactly. It does.
And
Exactly.
so I feel like, yeah, that's
exactly.
a huge no-no for me. I don't want to, like, kink shame. I don't want to say you can't watch pornography, whatever. But, like, for me, it's just, like, I have zero interest in it. Because, like, for what? Personally.
Exactly. And I find that when you watch porn, I think there's better outlets as well. Like you could do like an erotic book, you know, you could do like an erotic audio book.
Listen,
You could do
and
those
I have.
things.
And
Tell me,
those
like,
are
girl, they're
unexpected.
good. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Because
some
you're
of
like,
them-
damn.
I got recommended one. I can't even remember what it was called. I have to look it up. I was like in a bit of like a reading slump, and somebody was like, "You just need to like read some smut, and it's gonna get you back into books."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was awoken.
Okay, I can read again.
Yeah. No, I
No,
get
no,
it.
Yeah, highly recommend.
And I also find that sex toys for some people can be like kind of shameful, but they're not. I don't think they're shameful at all. So like when I was very, 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 very briefly engaged in my early 20s, I asked him, I was like, yeah, he really wanted a threesome. And I was like, sure, probably in the future. Like I've never been the person in a relationship when I've done a threesome ever. I've always just been the third.
Right, yeah, we've talked
and then
about
one
that,
thing I asked him for, I was like, oh, I'd like to use sex toys during sex. He was like, God forbid. And you know this was a Nigerian man, so he hit that God forbid real hard. He did not stutter.
Me.
He was like, God forbid. He was like, I don't believe in that. And then I was like, what's there to not believe? They exist.
Science?
Like,
What is this?
he was like, I feel like you I can't even get the words out. He was like, I feel like you should just feel satisfied by everything I'm doing for you. And he wasn't horrific in bed.
Dissatisfied me for life. Just
Honestly.
having to talk about this.
And then
What the fuck?
imagine Annie, I'd be 30 years old, trapped in a 10-year marriage, knowing that I was having mediocre sex. That would have been my life right now.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
We wouldn't have this podcast.
Honestly.
So sad.
And that would be the worst thing ever. Like that'd
That
be
would be
worse
the
than
worst
being in
thing
the
ever.
marriage.
Yes, for me personally.
No,
Sorry.
but he was like that, and I think it's important that to understand what your reasons behind it are. Like I recommend movies to people, so like Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. That's a really good one with Tilda Swinton.
Is it,
Who's
no.
Should I spoil it for you?
It's the other one. No, you
Should I
can spoil
spo-
it, but it's Kate. Fuck, it's not Tilda.
I know who
It's-
you mean.
Yeah, Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
It actually might be Emma Thompson in this movie.
No, it is.
And
Where like she has like the male escort.
yeah.
Correct? Yeah. Oh,
And
it's
so she's,
beautiful.
it's honestly, and she's 70 years old and she's never had an orgasm literally ever in her whole life. And she speaks, honestly, imagine. And so she speaks a lot about all the feelings that have gone alongside that as well. And I feel like a lot of the people in my life, not a lot, some of the women in my life are barreling towards that.
But I think for me, feeling safe with a partner is so important. And that, you know, like really wraps into the being able to let go, the being able to be mindful, because I have to like trust my partner and feel safe with them. And so if you, for whatever reason, are not feeling like 100% safe with the person you're at, I feel like that's also something that might be feeding into not being able to have great sex with them. So my advice is feel safe, buy a vibrator from
Yes.
Ona.com.
Yeah. We're
Support
available
our
for
friend Luisa.
sponsorship.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lisa, we love you. She's amazing. I hope people buy a lot of sex toys from you. They're actually beautiful, guys. Like from a design perspective, I'm like 10 out of 10. And then
I agree.
also-
I've just seen them. Yeah, they're stunning.
They are,
stunning.
right? Yeah, they're gorgeous. And so talk to your partners. Don't fake orgasms. And like masturbate a lot maybe. And like see if like that helps go in the right direction. I don't want to end on a judgy note because I feel like we've been very like, what's wrong with you if you're like faking orgasms? I don't want it to be that. I'm sorry because I think we quite love to fuck in this podcast. So
Yeah.
it's complicated in that sense that we are not judging you. We want everybody to enjoy this as much as
We do.
we do. I assume,
We do.
right? Like that's why we're talking about it.
Of course.
So let this be an invitation
to get fucked the right way. Yeah.
to fuck and be fucked.
Okay. Call me later.
Yeah, definitely.
No, pero llámame ya.